So we skipped that chat about Stats SA's 2019 Marriages and Divorces report. I know we said we're going to be talking about that, but we are unable to get a hold of our guest. And instead, we're moving on to talking about Matrics on the Fringe, which is the latest research by Youth Capital and Stellenbosch University. It shows that 250,000 young people are attempting to obtain their matric certificate through the Second Chance Matric Programme outside of the full-time schooling system. But these young people are not reported by the Department of Basic Education. Joining us is Kristal Duncan-Williams, who is the project lead at Youth Capital, and Youth Capital is a youth-led campaign with an action plan to reduce youth unemployment. Thanks for joining us, Kristal. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Asanda. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What necessitated this report and this research?
Well, Youth Capital has been around for about 3 years, and we really have spent a lot of that time doing research and talking to young people to understand what their challenges are as they journey from places of learning into places of work. And one of the things that we noticed as a barrier was young people getting certified. And we know that a matric certificate in particular is very valued by employers. And through unpacking what it takes to get a matric and what happens to those who don't get a matric, we found out that the Second Chance Programme exists. It was designed by the Department of Basic Education, but there's very little public reporting that happens on the young people who go through this program. And we think if we're going to support young people to successfully complete on their second or third or fourth attempt at their matric, we really need to start with first tracking them and understanding where their journeys are, what subjects they're failing, and how they journey through the Second Chance Programme.
Yeah. So the major differences then between getting a matric certificate through the Second Chance Matric Programme and full-time schooling system, what are they?
So what happens is if you have failed in less than the last 3 years, or you're under the age of 21, you write what is the National Senior Certificate. So that's exactly the same certificate that you get through full-time schooling, except that through this, obviously, you're out of a schooling system, you are studying on your own, and you register subject by subject. If you've been out of school for longer than 3 years, or if you're older than 21 years old, you write the senior certificate. But the exams are essentially the same exams, and they take place in May or June. They're also the same exams that young people who have just completed matric, who maybe want to improve marks in order to get a bachelor pass or get better marks in order to get into a post-school opportunity, they also register for these rewrite opportunities, and they're essentially all the same exams.
So what are some of the challenges then for second chances, if we can call them that? What do they face?
So, at the very beginning, just the difficulty with registration. So, we started getting some queries from our youth network on where to register, what information do they need. And it took me and my team, and we were a team of 4, about 5 days to clarify that just the date of registration, because there was confusing information on the department's website. Their social media accounts are dead. There's no activity. People post questions. They don't get responses. And so at the very first call just to register, there are huge information asymmetries and gaps and contradictory information. Then even once young people register, you must remember they are now out of school, so they're trying to study without access to textbooks. The Department of Basic Education does have resources on its website, but it's not easy to find or to navigate through the website to find these. And then so young people are often studying on their own without support, with other challenges. They might be trying to juggle a part-time job while they do this. They might want to access tutoring through private colleges to do this program, but that comes at a cost. And we know that most young people don't have the money to afford that. So these are just some of the challenges that young people face.
Where and how can young people register for the matric rewrite, and by which cutoff date?
So again, there's been some confusion with the date, but as of this morning, a spokesperson for the DBE posted on Twitter that the cutoff date is the 26th. So the 26th of March is the date that's been advertised on Twitter now. There was the date of the 31st at one stage. It seems to be moved again. We're telling young people to make sure they register by the 26th to be safe. The best for young people is to contact your district DBE office. If you're registering for the NSC, you have to do it through that office. And you need the form from the office, a copy of your results, and a copy of your ID. But we're telling young people to contact the office for the forms. That's the course of action that they should take.
Thanks again. Let's leave it there, Kristal. We appreciate your time. Kristal Duncan-Williams, project lead at Youth Capital.